Okay, good morning, and welcome to Momentum Monday. It's Monday again. Already, we're supercharging through the year, flying through, and today our topic is reconnecting to purpose, the art of reflection, with me, Emily McHugh, your supercharged coach, helping entrepreneurs to gain the energy and the momentum to maximize their time to build sustainable businesses. So, that is our goal and that is our purpose. And so, as we enter this time of reflection and thinking about reflecting, that is something that we're going to really spend some time on today. And I know usually towards the end of the year, people start to wax reflective of the current year that is ending and starting to think about the new year that is ahead. And normally, this process is filled with a certain sense of nostalgia. And we ask ourselves, did we achieve all of our goals for the current year? Will we be able to achieve our goals in the upcoming year, in the new year? And for some people, there's a sense of satisfaction. And for others, there's like maybe a sense of foreboding. Maybe you did not achieve everything you wanted, and you start to kind of beat yourself up and you start to maybe be a bit hard on yourself. And sometimes that can create some anxiety and some nervousness for the year ahead. So, in today's climate, a lot of people tend to be in that latter group where they feel the anxiety and they feel a certain sense of pressure to achieve certain things. So today I hope to alleviate some of that pressure, some of that anxiety, so that you will be a bit more relaxed and be more focused and reconnected to your purpose, and your purpose will bring you the peace. So that's the good news. The good news is that when you're connected to your purpose and connected to your mission, you have a sense of hope. And that hope propels you forward, fills you with a sense of excitement and fulfillment. And that is a space we want to occupy the rest of the year and on into the next year as best possible that we can. So we're going to leave anxiety behind. We're going to leave foreboding behind. And because you have a purpose to fulfill, you have a mission to fulfill, you don't have the room for the anxiety. So, number one, we want to remove the room that has been made for anxiety, remove that altogether so that whenever you're feeling anxious, you start to focus on your purpose. So that is the word I want us to keep front and center, focusing on your purpose. And redirecting your energy to that way allows you to feel more focused and more centered. So when you start to feel like you're drifting away, kind of think like, okay, remind yourself, what exactly is my purpose? And I think when we're drifting, that's what induces this high level anxiety that we kind of forget. So we need to remind ourselves, maybe on a daily basis, not just an annual basis, but on a daily basis, remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. And it's important to remember that and to kind of keep that front and center. Okay, so with that said, so let me check on some of my notes here. So really, I think, you might say to yourself, what will others think? A lot of people, one of the reasons people get anxious is they're wondering what other people think. What do other people think of my purpose? Who cares what they think about your purpose? God gave you your purpose, He gave you your assignment, and that is really all you need to concern yourself with. Not so much the opinions of others. And of course, yes, we do care what people think as far as we want what we offer to be well received and we want there to be some receptivity there. But it's more so on that end as opposed to the validation. The validation comes from already knowing that what you have to offer is valuable. And that really is critical for the mindset that you want to have. So, a lot of time we think about the numbers, that it's about the numbers. How many people are watching you? How many people are following you? And it really is about one number. And the first number is yourself. You show up for yourself. You have a purpose for yourself. And what you do is for your benefit primarily, and then for the benefit of others as well. So don't discount yourself in this process like your purpose is for somebody else. Well, yes, we want other people to benefit, but the first beneficiary should be you. And when you derive benefit from what you're doing, I can guarantee you and assure you that others will as well. So just focus on that one person and the numbers will multiply from there as they're meant to multiply. But when you show up for that one person, you'll always feel that commitment to yourself and to the other person that comes. But start with the commitment to you. Show up for yourself first. And that one person is key because it represents thousands or millions or other people like that one person. So when you think of one, think of it multiplied, and it just kind of makes it a lot more focused. So try to do that. Try to do that. Show up for that one person because that one person deserves your purpose. And again, that person is definitely yourself, because you deserve to fulfill your purpose, and you are in need of what you have to offer. Okay, so think about that. So hence today's topic about reconnecting with the purpose, the art of reflection. And it's timely and it's necessary, and it is checking in with yourself and with your business. So I'm speaking to my entrepreneurs, I'm speaking to people, my small business owners, who many times don't have the time or take the time to reflect as often as you should, or really think about your purpose in this way, because you're so caught up in the day-to-day activity of running your business and all of that you don't really maybe make time for this. So now we want to take a moment to spend on reflection. But before I go into that, I just want to say a couple more things about purpose. You may say, what is my purpose? How do I know what my purpose is? Well, first of all, I believe everyone does know it. It's just a matter of whether you're ignoring it, or there's too much noise around you to hear it or to listen to what it is. But when you go into side of yourself, into your soul, and you think about what I enjoy doing, what you feel inspired by, what inspires you, what motivates you, what gives you that lift of spirit, those are the things that are reflective of purpose. And firstly, ask God, pray. For me, I pray and I ask God for guidance to maximizing time, maximizing the use of skills and talents. And you may have multiple skills and multiple talents. All of them work together for your purpose, to uplift, to benefit, to add some light to someone's day. Right here, supercharging your day, injecting that bit of energy to keep you moving forward. It makes a real major difference, because sometimes someone could be sitting there losing hope, feeling like, what's the point of this and what's the point of that? And then you kind of shift your perspective. So today I'm here to shift your perspective, to remind you that you have so much to offer. And you have many things to offer. So it doesn't have to be one thing, many things to offer, but it all goes towards enriching and enhancing people's quality of life. And if you do that, then you're absolutely fulfilling your purpose. If you're uplifting someone, if you're saying a positive thing to someone, that is a part of fulfilling your purpose. It doesn't have to be some grandiose thing like scaling Mount Everest or something like that to be equally valid. So I want to really emphasize that the little things are a part of your purpose too, that we may deem as little, but are really critical and important to the well-being of others, and of course, to yourself. So now let's talk about the reflection side of things, taking the time to reflect. I like to go by the ocean when I can. I don't get to do it too often, but I want to start doing that more. It's a beautiful place to just kind of let things wash away and kind of take in the new, and take that moment to reflect on it. Just allow your mind to relax. So right now, thinking about how we feel, like, how do you feel about things? Do you feel calm? What does it take for you to feel calm? To slow down the pace of life. Many times we're caught up in the sturm and drang of everyday drama, and there's not a space for that reflection. So you want to ask yourself some questions. Do you feel hopeful? Really identifying the state you're in right now. Do you feel a mixture of, all of these different things? You're excited, how your feelings can overlap. You don't want to deny how you feel if you're not feeling, up to mark. But we have to bring all of these things under control. Just kind of acknowledge what you're experiencing at a moment in time. And the purpose of reflection isn't really to just ruminate and so forth. It is more so to allow you to get unstuck and not to beat up yourself over something done in the past or over a past situation or a past decision, but it's all about acknowledging what you've experienced and acknowledging the situations you have been in. So, and saying, okay, what did I learn from that? And using the time as learning as opposed to rumination, as opposed to self flagellation. That's not what it's for. It is about relaxing your mind, calming your spirit, and saying, what are the lessons that I can derive from this? Or what is something that stood out from an XYZ experience that I can now turn to my benefit? And maybe there is a situation that you have been kind of going over in your mind, mulling over, but you keep, it's kind of like a stuck loop. Then say, okay, let's press the pause button and ask yourself, okay, how do I get out of this loop? What would it take to break the loop so I don't keep that loop going into 2023 or whatever years there are ahead? So some of the things I want to encourage you to do, I know you're familiar with people telling you this all the time. Journal, write in a journal, but I can't emphasize enough how important it is to commit to a piece of paper, whether it's digital or whether it's on physical paper, your thoughts, and allow those thoughts to flow. And I use both. I use paper. I use my Notion app, as you guys know. I love Notion, and yes, I will be sharing a lot more about Notion going forward. Believe you me, it's coming. It's an app that I use to kind of put everything in there. And so I did a little tutorial a couple weeks back on the pros and cons of some of my favorite apps, so you can check that out. But in the meantime, so write these things down. Take the time to meditate on the benefit of the things you've experienced and what you want to do to facilitate this. And kind of have like a little checklist that you can go down and with some questions and things that you can ask yourself, like be a bit more proactive in that process and categorize them. I mean, there's so many ways you can go about this, but for example, for your business, you want to say, you want to reflect on your financial situation. You want to reflect on your sales numbers, your marketing efforts, your production if you're doing a physical product or you're creating a service, and just kind of look at your business maybe from your customer's perspective, look at it from your supplier's perspective, and look at it from the different perspectives of the people you engage with. That is a very valuable thing that I don't think most of us ever do hardly enough. And it would be most instructive to take the time to try to get another perspective, because it will really reshape your outlook for your business and really help to supercharge things going forward. For example, you can break down things into where you could really improve. Like on my website, is it really offering what it needs to? When people arrive there, are they really experiencing what I want them to experience? And I tell you, this is an ongoing thing because this is something I'm in the process of doing with my website. Certain things need to change, certain things need to come down, certain things need to come up, certain things need to update, and then put yourself on a schedule to do that. So for the new year, that's one of my goals. Actually, I'm not waiting till the new year. I'm starting now. But the point is to be more on top of certain things and at least be cognizant of what may be falling through the cracks and what you might need to do about it so that it does not stay that way. Okay, so you're kind of like taking the temperature of your business, taking the temperature of how things are going, and deciding where you need help, where some bases need to be covered, and what you could do. Let's take a moment to acknowledge that. Okay. What would be a Momentum Monday without some sound effects? Okay, and I promise you I'll have some more in the new year as I get more skilled in my Ecamm app here that I'm using for this. I promise you it's going to get more elaborate. Yeah, it will. Okay, so let's see. I have some other notes for you. And by the way, as my notes that I'm kind of referring to as I'm speaking to you today are in Notion. I write down, as a matter of fact, I didn't even write this. I spoke it, I dictated it into my Notion app. It recorded it, the words, and all my ideas. And I'm kind of like scrolling through as I speak to you. So I have my ideas right here in front of me. That's why I love Notion so much. Like in the middle of the night, you think of something, boom, it's recorded, or whenever creativity hits. Okay, let's see what other notes I have for you. Let's talk a little bit about the idea of reconnecting as opposed to, the disconnecting. It suggests that there was a disconnection if you have to reconnect. And as I said, on a daily basis, you need to remind yourself why you do what you do. So this whole thing about we forget, as I said, we get caught up with our day to day. So, and you say to yourself, like, why am I doing this again? Like, is it still important to me? And it's important to ask yourself this. It's a very valid question, because sometimes you might say, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to change course. I want to change direction because it's not really connecting with me. And that's okay. So you need to ask yourself that, so you don't just do stuff out of habit or rote, but because you actually thought about it and you want to really make a concerted effort to focus on what's important to you. And why is reflection an art? It's an art because it's not scientific in the sense of it's a specific formula to it. It's kind of can be a somewhat nebulous process, but it can also be very simple. And my proposal to you today is to make it as simple as possible, so that you will take the time to do it, and you owe it to yourself to reflect and shape it in such a way that it's beneficial to yourself and to your goals. So that's really what I have. A lot more notes here. I'll probably put this in a blog because it's too much for me to try to put into one talk to this morning. But I think I pretty much highlighted some of the key things I wanted to say. Another few points I would like to make: if you're like a solopreneur, or doing a lot of things by yourself, it's even more important to do this. Actually, it's not about more important or less important. It's as important whether you have a staff of 100 or it's just yourself. Taking the time to do this is extremely important, valuable for your business. I cannot emphasize it enough. So let's see. Let me just check here. Any other thoughts I want to share with you? Give me a moment to see you and your business. Okay, so let me end on this point. So again, back to the solo entrepreneur or multi-employee company. There are two types of reflections you want to engage in. One, where you look at your business, as I shared before, and the other where you look at yourself. And that kind of goes back to the purpose, reconnecting to purpose. Take the time to think about what's meaningful to you personally, and then what's meaningful to your business. Both of them as distinct entities. You are not your business, and your business is not you. Your business exists to serve you, not the other way around, even though we may get lost in that thinking, because we feel like we'll do everything for our business, which we kind of do, but your business is there to serve you. So you're two separate things. Don't make yourself the business. You are distinct. Even though you may drive the business, you may fuel your business, but you are two distinct entities, and you want to separate them that serve each other really on different levels. But more importantly, don't let your business dominate you to the point where you don't have the time to reflect, and you don't have the time to be connected to your purpose. And those two, the goal is that they should be aligned and move forward together. So those are some of the tips I'd like to share with you today. I encourage you, if you haven't already signed up for my Supercharged weekly newsletter, please do so. I highlight some supercharged thoughts, more things to think about throughout the week. Follow me on Instagram at Emily the Entrepreneur, where I'll share, again, more insights as well, so that you can stay supercharged, you can stay close to your purpose, and be able to keep that reflection going, that momentum going. So that's what I have for you today. That is what I have for you today. And I hope you find that beneficial. So please do share your comments, your thoughts, your feedback. Save this, like it, comment, share it with someone who you think could benefit from some of the thoughts shared with you today. So stay supercharged, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.